Patch 1.5 for Rogue Trader introduced a massive rework for 4 character origins, and I'm delving deep into them, so you don't have to. Are you planning your Lore Captain's build for your next playthrough, but the patch scrambled it up? I'm going to cover all the changes, hopefully helping you out in the process. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I'm Avenghost, and I've got over 600 hours across 7 playthroughs of this game, so at least you know I got some experience with it. The 4 origins that have been reworked are the Astra Militarum Commander, the Ministorum Priest, the Commissar, and the Navy Officer. I'll put timestamps in the description below for each one, so you can jump to the one you're interested in. Let's dive into the changes. The Astra Militarum Commander rework replaced the very situational or hard to set up bonuses this origin previously had, with new ones that better support the image of an experienced leader who once commanded massive Imperial Guard armies. The Perception bonus has been replaced with the Fellowship one, and the Medicae bonus with Coercion to better synergize with the Officer archetype. So at any level up that allows a characteristic increase, you can now improve your Fellowship. The featured ability, Regimental Tactics, was nice but required the commander or their allies to be adjacent for it to work. It now functions on enemies that were already attacked by the commander or their allies. Suppression Fire now applies not only to the commander but also to their allies, and like Regimental Tactics, it works on enemies previously attacked by the commander or their allies, no longer requiring adjacency. Timely Rescue is completely gone, and has been replaced with the Fixed Bayonet talent. This allows two-handed lace guns to perform a bayonet strike melee single target attack for 1 action point, once per round, and it doesn't count towards the attack limit. It deals weapon damage, so it's a nice, cheap melee attack that can be useful when a ranged character with the lace gun finds themselves suddenly in melee. Most lace guns were a little underwhelming before, but new ones have been added with the 1.5 itemization rework. Shoulder to Shoulder is also gone, replaced with Trench Warfare, which gives the commander a plus 20% rate of fire with lace weapons in partial cover, increasing to plus 40% in full cover. Now, onto the Ministorum Priest. Traditionally considered the weakest of the origins, it has been massively redesigned to provide a willpower-based gameplay option that isn't tied to psychers. This origin has a new passive ability, Unshakable Faith, which gives the priest additional willpower in combat depending on their strength, toughness, agility, and perception bonuses. That's quite a few characteristics to balance. It also introduces Zeal, a new resource used in combat. The priest starts with a number of zeal points equal to their willpower bonus. For each new enemy attacked with a bolter, melta, flamer, chain or power weapon, they gain 1 zeal point. Killing a Xenos or demon grants 2 additional points. This zeal is going to be consumed by most of the priest's abilities. The starting bonuses have been replaced with plus 10 willpower and plus 10 lore imperium. War Hymn now grants momentum depending on zeal, and the priest gains additional zeal points equal to their willpower bonus. Litany of Purification now deals direct damage equal to 5 times the priest's zeal and applies the perplexed condition to demons and Xenos within 5 cells of the target. Litany of Hatred now causes the priest and allies within 5 cells to deal additional damage equal to half the priest's zeal points during the round when War Hymn or Furious Recital were used. Against the Emperor's enemies, Xenos, demons, and Psychers, the bonus is doubled. Shield of Faith has been replaced with Tenets of Retribution, which adds 1/3 of the willpower bonus to damage and applies the willpower bonus percentage as critical damage for bolter weapons. It also increases damage and burn level from flamers and meltas by the willpower bonus percentage, again doubled against the Emperor's enemies. Flensing Faith has been adjusted to increase armor penetration for chain and power weapons based on willpower, and their critical hits now deal burning damage, also scaling with willpower. The Emperor's Blessing has been replaced with the Emperor Protects, which gives the character additional wounds equal to their willpower bonus. I can see this origin being used to build different kinds of characters. The first I'd try would be a frontliner with a flamer or a melta gun. Notably, our companion Argenta, being a sister of battle and a sort of Ministorum Priest, inherits these changes too. Now the Commissar. This is an iconic figure in Warhammer lore, and the rework gives more emphasis to their leadership and use of pistols. It starts with a new passive ability, Iconic Sidearm. The pistol in the primary hand has a plus 15% critical chance, reduced enemy dodge chance based on fellowship, and deals additional damage based on ballistic skill. For starting bonuses, weapon skill has been replaced with ballistic skill. At all costs has been redesigned to capture the righteous Commissar spirit. You can shoot an ally with the Commissar's primary pistol, dealing heavy damage based on coercion. The shot always hits, ignores armor and deflection, and can't be dodged. If the poor soul survives, they deal more damage and gain bonuses to dodge and parry based on the Commissar's fellowship and ballistic skill, plus a bonus to all stats based on coercion. These last one round. If the ally is incapacitated by the shot, all other allies gain the same bonuses instead, and the ability's cooldown is reset. The damage is always critical against Xeno's allies, so Earliet and Marajai better watch their backs. Duty and Honor has been replaced by 1 for the enemies, 2 for the traitors, which applies the iconic sidearm bonuses to pistols in the left hand. Showdown Contempt grants 1 more baseline resolve, and if there are no creatures within 2 cells of the Commissar, they gain additional resolve based on fellowship. Motivation gives the Commissar and allies within 2 cells more movement points when the Commissar attacks with a pistol. Summary Execution now doubles its damage and bonuses if you're shooting your ally in the back. For the Emperor also has changed. It now allows an ally who survived the at all costs shot to restore 30% of their wounds as temporary wounds. I can definitely see a Commissar origin character in a support role, probably combined with an officer or an operative archetype. Finally, one of my favorites for personal reasons, the Navy Officer. It's been reworked to focus more on melee, tanking and support, synergizing better with the operative and warrior archetypes. Agility and Fellowship starting bonuses have been replaced with Toughness and Perception, while Demolition was swapped for Carouse and Commerce for Awareness, all to improve synergy. Brace for Impact now works within a 5-cell radius instead of 3, and no longer requires allies to remain within that range for the effect to persist. It can also be used multiple times per combat, starting with 1 charge, with more gain the first time the Navy Officer drops below 50% wounds, or when an ally falls unconscious. Do Not Falter has been replaced with Stentorian Voice, which causes enemies in the Brace for Impact area to suffer penalties to weapon skill and ballistic skill, scaling with the number of archetypes the Navy Officer has. Scudder has been replaced with Evasive Maneuvers, which gives all allies affected by the Navy Officer's non-attack abilities or Brace for Impact a dodge bonus for 1 round, based on perception. It doesn't stack, and allies affected by Brace for Impact no longer provoke attacks of opportunity. Perfect Timing is also gone, replaced with Fleet Combat Training, allowing the Navy Officer to automatically perform the cheapest attack with their secondary weapon after a successful parry or crit with the primary weapon. Get Off Me has been redesigned. Now, during Brace for Impact, the Navy Officer's melee attacks knock enemies prone if they fail an agility test. The officer also gains access to a new Get Off Me ability for 0 AP, which pushes enemies within 2 cells back by 2. Finally, Get Into Cover now boosts cover efficiency by 30%, and the movement points it provides scale with the Navy Officer's toughness bonus. Abelard is even stronger now. While I can see a specific build using the operative archetype for this origin, I still think the best option is a frontline tank with the warrior archetype. These are the changes introduced with patch 1.5 to 4 of the available origins. I hope it wasn't too boring. I tried to give some of my ideas on how to use them here and there. I'll link this update to my beginner's character creation guide. I think it's still relevant, but some changes are substantial. Thank you so much for watching, I truly appreciate it. If you found this video helpful, please like, comment and especially subscribe. It will help me reach the 500 subscriber milestone on the platform, which comes with some small benefits, but mostly it will be a personal milestone. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.